We've won a game. We've won a fucking game, people. That's the video demonetized, but it's been demonetized anyway. We won a game, people. We've won a game. We have won a game tonight. Big up to everybody. Relegation FC, mate. 3-2 comeback. Hojlund. Brilliant goal. Big up Mcginn for that assist. Manchester United came back from 2-0 down and won a game. We've not scored in 4 games, and they've scored. We've had assists and goals tonight. Still, no United player has set Rasmus up in the league. It had to be Mcginn. January moved to United. But hey, at least we were not dull. We were not boring. We were not hoofball. We were not just horrendous. We conducted a bit. I thought Eriksen, Kobe in the midfield, brilliant. I thought Eriksen was unbelievable. I know that Garnacho got the man of the match, but I thought Eriksen was unbelievable tonight. He's pressing. I would love to know how many times he won the ball back. But positionally tonight, he's pressing in the right areas. Positioning was incredible. And Kobe and him played together really well. It must be said, Manchester United have won a fucking game. We've won a game. We have won a game, people. Manchester United have won a game. Manchester United have scored goals. Manchester United have scored goals. Big up the panel, mods, the chat. Big up. Oh. I know. Tell me about it, Haroon. I told everybody. Free Palestine, people. Stop the genocide. But Manchester United have won a game, Khalees. Manchester United scored goals and won a game. I actually thought the midfield looked really good in the first half. Two lapses of concentration. I mean, Unana for the first one. It's just horrendous, isn't it? He's just so shit. He's so shit. And the second one, Varane, disgusting. Like almost gets out of the way. Varane, I don't know what the fuck he's doing in the second half for the second one. But I thought we played well. We just couldn't stay on side. I mean, Villa are brilliant. I told you about it last night. They play a very high line. That's what they play. Even though they dropped a bit deeper in the second half, it was. Yeah, pick up Google. Did you say that you're going to win? And remind me. I don't care what this dickhead says. But yeah, we need more than new fucking players. But yeah. No, it's not Giddy FC. It's not. We actually played good tonight in midfield. Manchester United played good in midfield tonight. Why was that? Why was that? Ask yourself the question. Who didn't start the game in midfield? Who didn't start the game in midfield? How many times could we have gone forward? How many times did we recycle the ball? How calm we were? Eriksen was just this different gravy tonight. He literally ran that game tonight. Him and Kobe ran the game. Bruno was more up the pitch. He didn't have to come back and babysit Scott, come play that behind Scott McTominay. No. It was a different midfield. Win, lose, or draw. I'd be coming here saying that if you lost. You know me. You know me. Yeah, exactly. Because midfield, we dominated the midfield, Natalie. We dominated the midfield. That's the reason why. He's waffling here, Khalees. But yeah, big up, bro. At the end of the day, people. At the end of the day, you saw what happened there. And I thought Manchester United played well for 60 minutes or so tonight. That's what I'm going to say. Manchester United for about 60 minutes or so played well. Played well. For 60 minutes or so, United played well because midfield, we kept the ball moving. Eriksen was just so much better, Paramount. Midfield was so much better. Unana can't catch shit. Yeah, Stephanie, yeah, I'm happy for you. Merry Christmas to you all, man. You can watch a game and Manchester United were not boring. Let's tick it off. You can watch a game, Manchester United were not boring. 1, Manchester United actually dominated aspect of midfield. 2, Manchester United created chances. 3, Manchester United scored goals. 4, Manchester United played like a bit of like a team. 5, you can't say that. You can't say that at all those 5 points I've just made. You can't say that for most of the games this season. So at the end of the day, you should never have bought him. Yeah, man. Yeah, many. You should never have bought him, bro. Never have bought him. Yeah, the first half, I thought we did all right in the first half. I thought we did all right, but horrendous on the set pieces. Such an easy set plays of like blocking people off, and then, I mean, Varane, just watch Varane's reaction. The ball is coming to him and he gets out of the way. It's fucking shocking. Johnny Evans, put in good tackles. Good tackle tonight. Mcginn should have scored that one. Could have been 3-1. Game over. Johnny Evans, big up Johnny Evans for that. Big up Unai, man. He should at least make that save. It's not a spectacular save for me. The result not sustainable. Exactly. Not sustainable. But I thought in midfield tonight, Manchester United dominated. Manchester United dominated the midfield. That's why you didn't see Watkins with many chances. You saw Leon Bailey, he was threatening in the first half. But you didn't see Watkins because Manchester United dominated the midfield. Eriksen and Kobe bullied them. Bruno went up closer to to Hojlund. You know, now we can all see he can play on the right wing. Garnacho, he can play on the right wing. Get that fraud Anthony on the fucking bench. But he looks shattered. But I'm just so happy for Rasmus Hojlund. Mbaye, I thought probably one of the best performances from Manchester United this season that I've seen. I thought we went 2-0 down. We were unlucky, but some horrendous goalkeeping and horrendous defending for the second goal. But apart from that, I thought we shaded the play, especially in midfield, without your fucking fraud of a Scott McTominay. Without your fraud. Eriksen tonight showed levels. Kobe, when you're next to somebody who can play, show levels. It changed the whole look, the whole play in midfield of a team because your boy Scott McTominay was out of there. And Eriksen stepped up. I thought Eriksen's pressing. I thought Eriksen's positioning. I thought Kobe's calmness. I thought they just won the game. If United would have lost 2-0, I would have played like that and made chances. And the keeper would have, Martinez would have made save after save. I'll be like, you know what? I'll take it. Because you know me, I'm not all about the result at times. I'm about, can I see something to go, okay, there was something happening in the game. Manchester United kept the ball up the pitch possession-wise. Yes, Villa played into our hands. Yes, Villa have not been on great form. Yes, they should have lost at home against Sheffield United. And if it wasn't for the referee who cheated them and VAR who cheated them, they would have won because that was a clear penalty. Yes, they're not being on fire, right, this Christmas period. But still, they are a top 3 team. Some people talking about them being in the league, fighting for the league title. And I thought Manchester United on the whole, midfield-wise, we were back to what resembles a Manchester United team because Scott fucking McTominay was not there. And we controlled it. We kept it short. We passed it. And our attackers then looked a bit better with better service. So, like I said, I'm not seeing this. Tonight, I'm going to celebrate this win. 1, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. You could go back to what it's been like for the next fucking game against Nottingham Forest and the games after that. But tonight, I saw a Manchester United team keep the ball in midfield. 1. I saw Rasmus Hojlund score at last, even though it was a Mcginn assist. Still, no assist in the league for Hojlund, right? I saw a Manchester United team keep the ball up the pitch, score goals, assist. That's what I saw. I saw 5 things that went through it. Somebody rewrote can tell me what I've said. But Mumbai, how did you see the game tonight?
Good evening, first of all. God bless the Palestinians. May they be victorious. And I just want to give a shout out to a young 18-year-old amidst a overwhelming far-right Israeli Zionist public. There is a small ray of sunshine called Tal Mitnick, who's 18. He's been asked to come. He's been called up by force. And today, later on today, we're in, well, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, he will reject being enlisted and he will be taken to court where a general will sentence him to military jail. So, respect to that young boy. He's got more sense than his own prime minister, who's at the end of his life, and that's saying a lot. He's got more sense than most of the politicians that go to the Ivy League schools, and that tells you everything you need to know. Uh, Now, the game, first half, I was struggling. I was really struggling. They looked like they were going to score. When they came at us, we were at sixes and sevens. We
But did
tried
you
to
not
play
think we
out.
looked better on the ball, Bumbaye?
Not particularly, because I felt that it
In the
was
first
pretty.
half?
Yeah, I felt it was really boring, and I felt it was just going side to side. We were playing out from the back, and it was a bit suicidal at times. They did all right. I thought first half for me was I didn't enjoy that at all. And then obviously you
You
get
must have
two
watched a different
goals.
game to me. I thought in the first half,
Mm.
my tweets are there. I thought Manchester United kept the ball better. We kept it, but we just couldn't stay on side. It was the last pass. It's people being greedy. It's people not passing it at the right time. But I didn't feel like it was a 2-0 game in the first, other than the two mistakes. Obviously, Unana makes a mistake, and then Varane, literally the ball is coming towards him, and he does that. He gets out of the way. But yeah, I thought Leon Bailey was threatening big time. I agree with you about that. Go ahead.
I thought Villa in general looked bright. We looked like we were struggling at times to get out. It was, yeah, nice passing it around, but very boring, not doing anything with it. What was happening, though, I agree with you, is I thought Bruno and Ericsson at a certain point when we fired it into them, there wasn't a lot of time in the first half on that ball. We weren't as high as the second half. So it was straight away ball over the top into space. And I was getting frustrated with the forward line, with Garnacho, with Rashford, with Hojlund, because you've got the pace and we were offside like 5, 6 times. Boys, it's not that difficult.
We broke the record for the amount of offsides in this game tonight.
So that
Yeah.
was really pissing me off. And I thought the first half, yeah, wasn't great. And I thought, here we go again. We conceded one. Second one went in, and I thought, okay, is it going to be another disaster job? But Eric looked really pissed, so I have to really give him credit today. Whatever he did at halftime, we came out a different team. The boys' second half, man, really some good patterns of play. That's how you should just approach every game. It felt to me like we didn't start to force the issue until we were 2-0 down at home again. And the crowd, you saw at halftime, the biggest boos I've heard at Old Trafford. As soon as the halftime whistle went, it was the biggest boos ever. Ten Hag was very upset with that. So I felt it was a game of two halves. Second half, though, I commend everybody that took part in tonight's game. Really, really good. Really, really good. Garnacho, fantastic that, he starts on the right. It was really good. I thought Rashford did well today, track back, made some right choices as well as some not great ones. Everybody was guilty of making a few bad errors that we're used to, but they did do some better things today. I think putting Garnacho on the right forces him to fire balls in because he likes to come in from the left. And Rashford did his job well today as well. He tried to find the boys. So everybody up their level second half. Everybody I thought keeper did well. Everybody played well. In general. It wasn't. We saw the good, the bad, and a bit of the ugly tonight. But to turn it around, in 45 minutes like we did was brilliant, and that's the best night of football this season by a country mile for me.
Yeah. I actually, honestly, I thought United without Scott McTominay. I know you don't want to talk about it, but we looked 20 times better as a
I mean,
football
Scott,
team.
I don't think he's got a start, bro. But I
No,
think
no,
he's
no,
he's good enough for me to be part of Man United's squad. It's up to
no.
Eric
But
Ten Hag now whether
I'm
he,
just,
you know,
I'm just saying to you. I'm just saying to you. Manchester United, without Scott McTominay starting the game, looked way better. Even before the 2 goals went in, Manchester United could actually play and control a bit of possession in midfield without Scott McTominay. Then they conceded 2 mistakes. Unana makes a horrendous mistake. That's number 1. And then Varane, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he goes out of the way of the ball and the guy just taps it in. Watch that goal again. Watch it again. But second half, I mean, after that 2 goals, I thought United dominated the game. Even though United started well, I thought United then dominated the game and then carried on into the second half. And second half, we didn't let them out. Unana made 1 decent save, and Johnny Evans defended well when Mcginn should have put the ball in the corner, and he kicked off the line. What could have been 3 when it could have been maybe result-wise. But I would have come on here and said Kobe and Eriksen did not deserve to fucking lose because they bullied their midfield. They bullied their midfield and they shut down any service to one of the uninformed strikers in the Premier League at the moment. That's Ollie Watkins. Sean, let us know what you thought about that game tonight. I thought Eriksen and Kobe were incredible.
Yeah, it was a difficult watch, to be honest, because like first off, I was pissed off as hell. And it looked like basically everything that could go wrong for this team was going wrong. I want to challenge your McTominay critique a little, just to say that like the mistake that the manager made was choosing to learn the lesson the hard way. So the McTominay thing was good for a couple of games, but he should have changed it before it got to this particular stage. He made the same mistake with Weghorst last season. When he tried it for a few games, it was good. Now take your win and go home. He decided to overdo it and keep playing the guy until he learned the lesson the hard way. So these are some of the mistakes that the manager keeps making that, like, has got us in this situation. And that I think if he doesn't learn from them, we're likely to still be here next season. I have a bittersweet feeling about Eriksen because I know it's temporary. Like, as much as I love seeing him, I can't even feel so happy because I know Eriksen, number 1, can't do anything for us in a tough away match. And number 2, Eriksen only has a few, years left of top level football. So I feel like in January you should be looking for a replacement and somebody to support Mino. Basically, I also think Rashford did well today. I think this is Rashford's best game this season. He didn't score, but he looked dangerous. He looked like he wanted it, like he was at it today for the first time in a long time, and that was revealing to see. I like the fact that there's no winter or like international break also between now and the next game, because this type of results, you need to play football again quickly to keep the momentum going. I think we're going to beat Nottingham Forest this coming weekend, and it's just a matter of building on that. Like a confident team, I don't believe this whole the manager has no clue, the players are not playing for him, all that stuff. The manager made mistakes, yes, definitely. But what the team is lacking right now is confidence. Like a confident team plays better. Like the difference is night and day. Because even if we did get a new manager, he would be working with the same players, and the new manager bounce that we all resent will be temporary. So Ten Hag just needs to manage
1
gently.
second, Sean.
Yeah.
The comment of the night is already here, people. We're back. 3 points. No, we're not back. We're not back. Listen, I'm just praising the midfield. I've been talking about the midfield for 4 or 5 games, slaughtering the midfield balance here. And tonight, Manchester United midfield look way better. Win, lose, or draw. I don't care. What I do care about is the intensity which we play with. And I thought when we went 2-0 down, I thought it was an even game before the mistakes game for the 2 goals. And then Manchester, as soon as we went 2-0 down, Manchester United went hell for leather. Second half, we kept that pressure and kept that possession up the pitch. Yes, Rashford played better, but we have to say it as well, Sean. Villa played into our hands with this ridiculous. They're very good at it. Don't get it twisted. They're very good at it, but this high line suited the way we play at times. Because if they would have sat back, it would have been difficult to open them up. But they didn't. They came and pressed us, and we kept the ball because we had footballers like Kobe, like Eriksen. Yes, I'm just talking about this game. And I know what you're saying, Sean. How long is Eriksen going to be like this? How long is he going to be? Because
I think
after 65 minutes, he gasses out, or 55 minutes, he gasses out, and then we get whatever. But what Watkins played well tonight.
I think the only reason why we won this game.
Hector, you're saying Watkins played well. I didn't see
No,
it,
no.
mate.
The only reason we won this game was because it was at Old Trafford and the fans were behind the team. If this was at Villa Park, 2-0 down at first half, game over. Pack it up and go home. No matter who was in the midfield, no matter what lineup, basically that they played. This game that we won today, we won it on pure vibes. Essentially, like the team was just in a particular way. The fans were behind everybody. The 2-goal down, like, you know, the 2 goals that we conceded came against the run of play, and it just seemed like it was surreal. Like, this couldn't possibly be happening. So we fought. Basically, if it was away, I think we would have lost. And to be quite frank with you, I think we would have lost if it was at Villa Park. So I'm not convinced by like the midfield.
100%, listen, 100%. That's why I'm so happy for the fans in the stadium tonight. I was so happy for them because they pushed everything into it. They sensed it. You know, I've never really heard that many boos in a first half in a game.
Yeah, no. So it was bound to. I think it was bound to play like this because Villa smelled blood, and rightly so. And I think they thought that they could just, you know, being 2-0 up, they could just see it out. Not knowing that, you know, the team was going to come out like, you know, a little more aggressive. I think the defense also helped largely today. Varane and Evans were solid. You know, Varane is able to carry the ball out of defense better than anybody that we have right now. Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, both wings were also solid. And Garnacho played like the best right winger that we have at the club currently. Watching this 19-year-old play, I'm wondering why we accept excuses from Rashford that he can't play on the right. Because Garnacho did everything that you would want from him. When it's time to go outside, go wide. When it's time to cut in and drive in. Be in the box. Like exactly what you need from a winger, basically. So yeah, I mean, for me, it was a terrible first half. Lucky to come from behind to win 3-2. The fans carried the team forward, and we go again next week. The manager just has to be wise. He just has to be wise. Like, there's absolutely no need to change this lineup. And if he goes to Nottingham Forest with a single change, any change, I know he's not a serious person.
Yeah, no, 100%. I thought, listen, I'm just happy that we had midfield and fans, and you know the history in that stadium, innit? That stadium. I've been in there
on Boxing Day, especially.
Yeah, many a time. I've been many a time in that stadium. You know what I mean? And I just know that stadium is different gravy, man. When that stadium gets up for things, crazy things can happen at times. So I was just so happy. I was just so happy for people, for the fans. Then definitely happy for the fans. Alien turned up the stream. Nuruddin Saeed read my comment under today. Yeah. Google this. We got it, man. You predicted it. Big up to Google this. Listen, give Google this a round of applause. But listen, they had to show a reaction though, because what we saw against West Ham was shit. But the big thing for me, I'm not gonna lie, is because the reason why Manchester United played well tonight for large parts of the game is because McTominay in midfield. I'm telling you, that was unsustainable. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. I don't give a fuck what your qualification is. How much you love Scott McTominay, you even deep down would know he's been absolute dog shite and totally destabilized the whole of the fucking team.
No, but Nuruddin, let's not act like there wasn't a reason why he was playing.
No, it wasn't just. Listen, it's not.
There was a reason why the manager was playing him. He was wrong to play him for so long. He should have cut his losses or taken his win earlier on. But there was a reason why Scott McTominay was playing, and there are games where a player like Scott McTominay has some value. That's my problem with what you're saying about Scott McTominay.
Listen to me. It's clear. Where Bruno's playing behind him, Scott McTominay is playing there. And he's hiding from the ball. He can't pass the ball. He can't hold the ball. He can't run with the ball. And we're not even putting the ball in the box for him when he was in the box. So what the fuck is the point then? What were the tactics? But anyway, I'll come to you in a minute. Listen, Go ahead, Lesso. Talk to me. How you doing, brother? Merry Christmas,
Evening,
man.
Lesso.
Big up all the South African people, man. Big up to all my Southern African brothers and sisters, man, and everybody up there. Love. Talk to me.
No, big up to to everyone on the panel. This game, man. I mean, it's like I told you last time. You know, even if we win, you know, I'm still not filled with confidence. It's still not sustainable. We have to be extremely bad before we actually before we actually come back and try and win a game. So for me, going forward, I see us the next game. I could see us lose, man. You know, it does not fill me with confidence in what we're trying to do, you know, going forward. Secondly, you know, I mean, you guys were having the discussion. You know, those guys will be back in the team sooner than before you begin. You know, before anything, they'll be back playing. You know, he'll be back picking them. You know, so as I feel like today he went with the team that could save his job. You know, that's the team that he went with primarily. So it's not sustainable at this point. You know, I can't really rejoice. You know, it's obviously you're happy to win. You don't want to lose games. You know, just because you don't feel that the manager is the right man.
But let's so
You-
we watched a game that was exciting. Talk to me. When was the last time you watched an exciting game involving Manchester United? To me, I'm judging a game by game. I was gripped by that.
Listen.
I'm not saying Manchester United are going to
Yeah,
do
no,
this, that.
definitely.
All
You
I'm
know,
saying to you, I watch every team. I watch Liverpool, Arsenal, exciting game. I watch Spurs games, exciting games. I watch City games,
Yeah.
all of them exciting games. I watch every other fucking team, and it's exciting. I watch Sheffield United versus Villa, and it's an exciting game. So many things happening in the game. And I watch United, and I'm just like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Not because they're not winning, because they're just boring, lifeless. No life. No life whatsoever. But go ahead, bro.
No, but let's be honest. Today's game, as much as I didn't feel like I wanted to watch it, but I ended up watching it. It was exciting. Let's not lie. You know, seeing us come back from 2-0 down, you know, and winning 3-2. You know, as much as anything, everything that we faced, you know, throughout the whole season, it was exciting to watch. Somewhat, you know. I feel like the second half we went for it. First half we were sort of reluctant. We did have a bit of position, obviously, and Aston Villa were playing low block. You know, they were just waiting to counter attack us at that point. But we did have more position. We did pretty much control the proceedings of the game. It's just that in the second half, we're more clinical. You know, in terms of the approach and in terms of what we needed to do, we didn't waste touches. You know, in the final third, and that's how we got our goals. When we never got, you know, we capitalized on mistakes. It didn't take us 4 or 5 touches or 6 touches to get into the opposition box. Whereas in the first half, if that was the case, that you know, that's where we would have like more or less fell short, because I don't know what we're doing. You know, we're a one-half team, and that's why I always say it really isn't sustainable. You know, you look at other teams like Liverpool and you know all these other teams, they play both halves. They're a team that play both halves. So for me, like I always told you, and I'll keep telling you, with the next game, I don't think we win in that game. It's not out of negativity, but it's about practicality. If you can't play both half of the game, then you are not going to win many games, unfortunately. You know, so it is what it is. But the win, we will take the win. I'll just take the win for now because I didn't want to lose that game. It was enough. I've had enough of losing.
I thought it was the first exciting game that I've seen United play this season by an absolute fucking mile. Because United fucking allow that sometimes. Even when I'm in the stadium, I'm nodding off. It's a fucking bore. But I thought Ericsson and Kobe in midfield tonight, Tom, looked different gravy.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, big up everybody anyway. Pado
Tom.
and
Big
everybody
up,
in the
Tom.
chat.
Big up, Tom.
Yeah.
How did you see it tonight, Tom?
First half, I thought it was a shambles. I'll be completely honest with you. set pieces. We've got the same set piece coach since Ollie. We couldn't defend or score under Ollie. We can't do the same under Ten Hag. If he had the power that he supposedly had as the head coach, he'd have brought his own set piece coach in from Ajax. That's all I'm going to say with that. Defensively, listen, the first one, Onana bottled it again, let's be honest. He should have come for the ball. Top goalkeepers would go for the ball, they'd catch it like a rugby ball and go through all the players, like a deck of cards. But he didn't do that. Made the starfish motion again, got put on his arse and they scored. Second one, again, Lunley just ran round the back of the defence. It was almost, and I said it before on Jarvis' Mix show, it was like pinball. Ping, pong, bang, goal.
But Tom, what the fuck is Varane doing?
Oh yeah, I know. No, I'm going to call out individual players anyway for praise or for dismay.
No, but I'm talking about for that. But I'm talking about Longley goes around the back, headers the ball back into the centre, and the way Varane does this. Varane does that.
Nuruddin.
Gets out of the way.
Notice how from the first two games that we played against Brentford and against Brighton last season when we got embarrassed, whenever we defended set piece against them two, we did that shite zonal marking. Now, ever since from those two games, we tried to do it man marking and direct. The problem with us is, physicality-wise against opposition players, we can't match them, either for height or physicality. Clement Longley, physically, if it was going up against Varane, to be honest with you, yeah, people might say that's a 50-50 in terms of, height. But if you're going it based off of ability, Clement Longley is probably going to win the ball in the head. Let's be honest. Varane, overall, yeah, people might say he's a Rolls Royce of a defender. That's when the ball's on the floor. Aerially, he's a little bit suspect. We have to admit in saying that. And he got away with it.
Tom, Tom, he's good in the air, but the way he stepped out of the way on that one, I want to ask him, what the fuck did he think he was doing?
The reason why I say that about Varane,
he's actually good in the air, Tom. I'm not lying to you. He's really good in the air.
Okay,
he's very good in
the
the air.
The reason why I said what I said,
the ball came to him
because he had someone like Sergio Ramos to back him up for years at Real Madrid. That's the reason why. At Manchester United, you don't have that protection of another world-class defender next to you. You've got somebody like Johnny Evans, who's 36, 37, over the hill. So in that situation, you would probably put Varane on Clement Longley rather than a Johnny Evans or whoever. That's just what I'm saying in that situation. Johnny Evans physically impose himself on someone like an Ollie Watkins, bully them, barge them around, bash them up a bit. That's what you'd want from that sort of situation. Varane, you need to stick him on the tallest player in the box, and that player was Clement Longley. And he lost him. Let's face it, he lost him like Stevie Wonder.
No. The bigger thing was that if you watch the goal again, Tom, Kobe gets blocked because Kobe's supposed to have Clement, but they block. It was a set piece work.
That's a mismatch then, Nuruddin. That's a mismatch. And it's
listen, but it's not a mismatch because you don't have to out-jump the guy. You just need to put him off. You need to bump. You know what? I play Saturday, Sunday league. What we used to say is, you don't have to win the headers. You just need to bump the player before they head the ball.
But Kobe's not physically imposing.
Anyway, then the ball comes back. Wrongly heads the ball. The ball's not in the air. The ball is at like chest height. And Varane does this. He literally moves out the way. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It was like, honestly, it's like he was part of the set piece. And he was doing his best. I swear to God, if you watch it again, I'm still like confused on what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
The ball is coming directly to him at hip stomach level, and he does that. He gets out of the way like a shot. It's unbelievable. Let me just get this. Kind FC says, big up for the super chat. Emery said, good evening to pressing us. Kept the high line. It made no sense. Thanks, I guess. Now 100%. Let me just say this at the super chat, Tom, and I'll let you carry on.
Yeah.
But, Tiedemann says, let's see if the praise for Ten Hag is loud as this disrespect. Well, the disrespect that he dropped Scott fucking McTominay, so I'll praise him for that. That actually team, when we went 2-0 down, we actually played intensity, but we couldn't keep on side. And then they kept catching up. Manchester United broke the record in Premier League history for the most team that's been kept offside tonight. That's what happened. We couldn't stay on. We couldn't stay on side. But at the end, we got there, and we scored goals because the midfield provided opportunities for the attackers. And I thought the pressing tonight was a lot better, even from the start of the game. Our pressing was a lot better. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, like I say, the first half, I think from the set pieces especially, it completely drowned the whole.
Tell me about
first half
Onana.
in
Tell me
midfield.
about what Onana's doing, Tom.
Fucking star jumps in the box. That's what he was doing. I thought he was in a fucking yoga class, not a football match. But listen, it's a conversation for another day because this guy's been suspect for weeks, and I'm fed up with talking about it. I honestly can't wait
Tom, we got to analyze that. Tom, we got to
analyze. Hang on. Let me finish. I can't wait for the guy to fuck off to AFCON and we can play Bayende. Because if Bayende is doing star jumps, mate, he probably saves the ball because he's a lot physically imposing than Onana is, and he would have come for the ball. But at the end of the day, my opinion on why we brought in Onana wasn't to be a physical presence in the box. It was to play out from the back, and we're shite at that. So, because we're not consistent with it.
That's not exactly fair about the playing out from the back and us being shite. But I would agree that Onana is a terrible goalkeeper. Like I think
so we played out from the back in the first half.
Let me make the point. I think I would agree. I think Onana to me is the biggest problem that Ten Hag has, because no matter what we do up front, no matter how we try to build, no matter what we do, you can't legislate for Onana just being a complete lunatic. Like you can't play well. You can't go far if you can't count on your goalkeeper. Like if literally at any point in time you could concede any type of goal because you have Onana basically there. And I want to push back again on this myth of not being able to retain the ball. The problem with this team is not retaining the ball or passing. If you look at the last two matches that we lost against West Ham and against Bournemouth, against West Ham we had 65% possession and like double the amount of passes that they had. Against Bournemouth, we had 70% possession and like triple times 3 the amount of completed passes that they had.
Sean.
Keeping the ball, Sean. Let me say something. Keeping the ball without penetration means nothing. You keeping the ball. I call it hoof and puff. What I'm talking about in the last third where it makes a difference. If, let's say, Sean, against West Ham and against Bournemouth, Manchester United. I had the two man of the matches of the game where they're both keepers from both teams. I would be sat here defending that football, saying, you know what? Those two keepers made saves. We hit the post, we hit the bar. Keeper made 3 fantastic saves. That's what I've been saying. I would not be having a go at the team, but we were not. We keep the ball up to maybe 70 yards and 65 yards.
But that's because
the ball then goes dead.
No, but Nuruddin, that's because of really troubling stats, like the fact that before today, Hojlund had maybe received 1 pass or 1.5 passes between Garnacho and Anthony. It's a problem of the attack. It's the fact that Rashford, Anthony, Hojlund, none of our attackers basically can score. Which is why the manager in desperation turned to the Scottish Ronaldo basically to say, help us, help us. Now he rode his luck for too long. I would agree with you guys on that. And he made the same mistake with Weghorst last season, and he makes that mistake often. You should know when the vibe is dead. Move on quickly. McTominay worked for a while. He works for a specific reason. Use him, then move on. I think the problem basically with the team is confidence. Like the difference between us losing this game or winning this game today, I think, is the fans. It's 1,000% the fact that the fans were gingered. You could feel it, you could see it. When Kobe Mainu came off, he was gingering the crowd. That energy was just there. And if it was away, we would have huffed and puffed, like you're saying already, and we would have still lost. We're 2 goals down. The impetus was basically like, with us. If it was 0-0, the match could have gone on for 60 or 70 minutes, basically odd minutes, and we'll just be passing around from left to right, trying to figure out something. But because Rashford is not in form, Hojlund is not scoring, Anthony is a waste man, and Garnacho is immature, we would have been in the exact same situation that we were the last game and the game before that. But this time we're 2 goals down. The fans were behind us. It's the last game in Old Trafford for the year. So a spark came from somewhere, from nowhere, basically. It's confidence that we need. Going into the next game, Hojlund is confident, Garnacho is confident. I think Rashford will be confident from this game. That makes a difference. That makes your pass a bit more better timed when you're confident. Your passes are better timed. They are weighted properly. Your positioning is better when you're feeling more confident. You understand? You're more in touch with your next man, left and right to you. That's what the team needs. Basically, the manager needs to instill that confidence in the team, and he needs to do it by being brave enough to make those calls, like benching McTominay when McTominay needs
He
to be
won't
benched.
do it, Sean. He will not do it. He will
That's
not.
the problem.
McTominay will probably play against Forest. Let's face
I
facts.
strongly
He
doubt
probably
that.
will.
I strongly doubt that.
You doubt that, do you?
I strongly doubt that.
Ericsson can't play 2 games in a week, apparently.
Yeah, no, I strongly doubt that.
He can't. He can't. And I'm just stating facts here. And I'm he's catching colds every single week, so he's probably not. Let me just get this
from our Windy. Big up Windy. Windy said when we were down 2, I thought about us being down the same score to City under Jose, and we came back to. Actually, we played a lot better tonight. That game, City had chances. City dominated us. We just caught them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, big up. And then we went and lost the next game 1-0 to West Ham at home.
That's precisely the point I'm making. The circumstance of the match, the emotions in the match itself, sometimes can carry you over the line. The same scenario, 2-0 at halftime, go in, everybody gets like a talking to, hairdryer treatment, come out and play football of your lives, basically, and then you go to the next game and lose. Which is why I agree with the gentleman from South Africa that we could lose against Nottingham Forest, to be fair. We could definitely go away to Nottingham Forest and lose. They are in form right now. Elanga is playing very well. Their striker just scored a hat-trick. I think they've won a couple of games, on the bounce. So we could definitely go and lose there. But I think the way to guarantee that happening is by Ten Hag starting McTominay, or by making any single change to this team that started today. We're in trouble.
Yeah, big up. Listen, big up to everybody in the chat. Listen, we are, I don't know, we are, I think, 50 people away from, 60 people away from 9,000, even though YouTube has been unsubscribing people, even though we're shadow banned, even though we're demonetized. But it's all good, people, because we're here, win, lose, or draw, talking about Manchester United with this great community. Big up to everybody. I thought United's best midfield performance of the season for me, by absolute fucking mile, by an absolute fucking 3 Titanics, by an absolute 5 continents, 7 continents, by another galaxy. That's what the difference was tonight. I go back to Lesso, looking forward to this. We can talk about this game in isolation, brother. But what do you say quickly? And I'll go to Bumbaye. Not heard from him for a while. What do you think? Like Sean said, can the players take any confidence from this, or is it back to life, back to reality?
Yeah, Noradine, you know we're gonna be back here again after another match reaction, especially against the one against Nottingham Forest. I don't take confidence. We said that. How many times have we said are the players gonna take any confidence from this result or what? After every win this season, we've been here. What has been consistent has been us getting bad results after getting good results. That's what's been very consistent about us this season. So I can't take, like I say, players, whether you think the players may take confidence from this. I can see again Ten Hag doing a madness in the next game. I can't at this point in time. I cannot trust the way he picks his team and his tactics and in-game management as well. So I think we'll be here and we'll be saying the same thing that we've been saying for the past, how many weeks, I don't know at this point. But yeah, I really can't. As gloomy as that may sound, it is practical. It is factual that's where we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, and I think this is where we, as a club, where we need serious decisions have to be taken now. And this manager is not going to make those decisions. So what other alternative is there in terms of doing that? We need to go, unfortunately. So yeah.
Who needs to go? The manager?
Yeah, big up.
No, he may need to go because
he's
if
saying,
he can
well,
implement, if he can make the tough decision, then unfortunately he's the one who may have to go, because now you need someone who's gonna come in and make those decisions. And with the new sort of structure, as they say, that is coming with Sir Jim and everyone,
Tough decisions
that he's gonna bring in.
What kind of decisions do we
No,
think
tough
Ten Hag should
decisions
be
like
making that
dropping
he's not
certain
making?
players and playing certain formations, dropping certain players and playing certain formations that may fit
So
the team,
so you
and as
mean
well as
on
making
a
substitutions when it really matters.
game by game, so on a game by game basis, is that what you mean? Like oversights from the
No,
top down, on a because all these things is after the fact that we can be talking about the choices that the manager could have, would have made.
yeah.
He's going to live or die by his decisions, definitely. But
he admitted to it. You know what, Sean? He admitted to that he was going to bring Rasmus off. Oh God!
no, I mean he's
and put Rashford up front most likely tonight, and then that would have been. We would have definitely have lost. Then we definitely would have lost.
I would give him
That-
credit for just how sometimes unnecessarily straightforward he is. Sometimes it's his downfall because after a game like the game we lost against West Ham, he comes out and says we played well, we controlled the game, etc., etc. Those are factual statements, but they're not the kind of things that we want to hear. Basically, like he lacks a certain type of like emotional intelligence, like being able to like read the room, like a kind of charisma. Basically, he's too much of a, from my perspective, like a technician. Like he's too technical for everything. For what we need. I think we should be careful when we're saying the manager should go or should be sacking the manager at this point in
No,
time.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Sean. Not with how we've played this season. And let's face facts, guys. We played one half of good football. Still not a 90 minutes. Still not a full 90 minutes. I've not seen a full 90 minutes since Spurs last season. And that still wasn't even a style of play because it's not consistent. These players, Sean, as much as you might want to rate them and this manager, if they go to Forest, nobody would be sat here surprised if they down tools on him. And we're sat here having the same conversation about Eric Ten Hag. The players, they don't want to do the hard yards. The morale's not there. We'll be back to square one. We was here a couple of weeks ago with Chelsea, and I said to everybody, don't get giddy, because we'll be out of the Champions League soon enough, and everybody will be blowing up arms, and then we'll probably lose to Bournemouth at the weekend. We lost 3-0. And let's face facts, if he would have done what Nuruddin's just said and took Rasmus off, what's he going to do? Put Rashford down the middle? We would have lost the game. We would have done. And as much as Villa,
but he didn't now, right?
As much as
no,
Villa,
because Rashford got injured.
were injured. As much as Villa in that first half got the goals from the set pieces, guys, they left the back door open at 2-0 and said we're still going to play the same way. If Unai Emery would have shut up shop, stunk the place out like a lot of people would do at 2-0, they would have come out of there with 3 points. No arguments, no dispute, because all three of our goals, maybe apart from the Hojlund one, even though we transitioned on them to get up the field, were all counter-attacking transitional goals. Because if you don't leave the spacing behind, Garnacho doesn't score 2 and maybe arguably could have got a hat-trick for the other goal. And then even with the Hojlund one, again, space was in behind to run and get up the field. Control of our games does not come from midfield. We have to, it's always lump it 50, 60 yards and hope Hojlund can bring the ball down for you. And as you quoted him as being a redeem, he's a WWE wrestler. It's wrestle, tussle, and hope for the best. But at the end of the day, I'll say it for what it is, guys. This team that played tonight, as a group collectively in the first half, they were flat when they got into that halftime dressing room. So the only thing that those players could have done differently was show a bit of commitment, keep the passes simple. Then when we get a bit of simplicity for 5 minutes in the game, right, let's take some risks. Let's gamble. What's the worst that we can do? Concede another goal and lose 3-0. We've been there before in games. But you cannot rely on this happening every single week. You won't go 2-0 down at Old Trafford against a shite team. Like for example, you go 2-0 down against Forest at the weekend. Forest are parking the bus.
So I agree with you. I agree with you on that, Tom. And I think I already said that, like, as far as I'm concerned, if this was an away match, we would have lost. And I said it earlier on in the stream that what carried us over the line. What carried us over the line was the fans. But I think it's a little while you see the inconsistency this season as a sign that Ten Hag should be sacked. I see it as simply a sign or a feature or what to expect from a manager who is 18 months into probably the most difficult job in the world. The United manager's job at this point in time, at this current version of United in this time in our history, it's the most difficult job probably in the world, if not in football alone. You have to give some. I think you have to give some credit to all the things that United as a club have been through this season, and how all these things are distractions on top of what is his primary responsibility, managing the football. So you can say, and I would agree with you, that we could have done better with even with everything that has happened. I would agree with you. Yeah, definitely we could have. But I think the jury should still be out on a manager who, and again, I read out some stats for you guys. Games that we lost handily, where we still dominated the ball. So it's clear that, like, in terms of like the
dominating
tactics
the
or the
ball.
coaching.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
let me
sorry,
just make
Sean.
the points. Let me just make the points real quick. Like, I think in terms of like the coaching, the technical thing that they're learning, part of it is being passed through. He's working and it's showing. I think what is missing is in the charisma, man management, character, vibe element of it.
Okay,
that
who does
you
that come
cannot-
from, Sean? Who has to do
It comes
this to
from the
players,
manager. It
Thank
comes
you,
from the manager. It
So
comes
this
from the
is why
manager.
this is why I'm saying, and why all of us on here, apart from you, have agreed that in recent weeks we have criticised the manager because he has to do this to these players, and in 18 months he hasn't done that. He hasn't instilled a style of play that we can all say is consistent, and he has spent as much
No,
money up the
he
hill
clearly has.
to try and build a style of play.
He has put a style of play. Like it is pretty clear what
He
we are
hasn't,
trying to
Sean.
do. No, as in, but it's clear what happens when Onana gets the ball. It's clear where Varane, where the centre backs
it is,
go.
yeah.
It's clear where the
60
midfielder drops
60 yards to
into.
Hojlund.
It's clear where all of this. And again, I would also like to highlight the fact that, like, as United fans, I think it's kind of rich for us to be talking about possession-based football or controlling the midfield. We have always been a high tempo, and for some fans now, that's part of the issue that they have with Ten Hag, that he's not here to replicate exactly his Ajax system. Many people are saying that Ten Hag is wrong to say that he's not trying to replicate what he did at Ajax in United, and he's trying to follow the United way, quote unquote. The United way, which he tried to articulate in the summer, is high transition, high intensity football. He is not getting it right in the combination of players, in the tactics, in the selection. He's not getting it right at this point. That he has an idea clearly that he's trying to follow, and he's trying to see through. And if we're criticizing the players so much right now, we're at a crossroads as United. We're at a crossroads right now. We can either validate these players. We can either validate the tactic of throwing the towel in by some players. Basically, just say, oh, if you don't like the manager, if you're unhappy, throw in the towel, or sack the manager and get somebody else for you. Or we can let him try and mold the team in his image. I think at the very least, if you are actually serious about the project, a manager needs to be given at least 3 years. At least 3 years to put his stamp on the team. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if we come 4th or 5th or even, dare I say, 6th this season. It's a write-off for me already. I wrote off this season a long time ago. I'm more interested in allowing the manager to make his mistakes and to correct them, to mold the team in his own image.
Sean, you made mistakes in your first season. Last season, I think all of us will agree he overachieved. Nobody expected us to potentially win 2 trophies. You don't think he overachieved? So
I don't agree with overachieved because we can't have it both ways. We can't say the United standards are high and also say that it's overachievement when we come third.
Sean, you made your point. Let Tom answer. Come on now.
The only reason why I say that is the expectation last season, and we'll all face facts, was if we win a trophy, we'll all be happy. If we didn't, the minimum that we wanted was Champions League football.
Good football I wanted, Tom. Good football.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking about any of those. After 6 months, I wanted a style of play. And I've still not got it after 18 fucking months.
Good football. And the reason why I say this is because in those first 2 games, he tried to replicate the Ajax way of playing. Aggressive, high tempo, and tried to keep control of the ball. You saw that and highlighted that in the Brentford game when Eriksen dropped deep to try and collect the ball and he got caught out. That is what so many Ajax midfielders have done for him over the last 4 years when he was their manager. They drop deep, they collect the ball, and they turn and carry with it. No player in our team has the accountability or has tried to do that. That's the difference that I'm saying. So the Ajax way of playing, just that one principle there, I rarely see a player do for us. Whether it's Casemiro who plays and drops the Eriksen, Fernandes, Mainu, any of them. Because Onana, as much as we all say that we want to play out from the back and control the ball, Onana, I see most of the time, boot it 50, 60 yards either out wide to one of the wingers or boots it all the way long to Hojlund. Control of the ball is key if you want to try and win matches in modern day football. Whether you're a defensive minded team, whether you're an attacking minded team, if you can't control the ball through your midfield, forget it. And the way that we have this midfield set up right now, it's a mix of young players or Zimmer frame players. We don't have a consistent balance. And for the one thing that hurts me the most to say it with my team is I lack this sense of leadership in our team. And we're not going to have the debate about the captaincy, guys, because we'll be here all week. But characters in our team is what we fail to lack. If you take, for example, what I said a couple of weeks ago when we were discussing about captains and leadership, Jordan Henderson at Liverpool is the prime example that I can use. As a player, he wasn't anything special, guys. But as a character and a leader, he motivated the people around him and he plays with superstars. Those superstars, you could argue, should have been their captain. The Salahs, the Van Dijks, the Alissons, all that. But Jordan Henderson always stayed true to the words of what Liverpool wanted. Leadership, characteristics, and drive the team forward. Bruno Fernandes will not do this for our team to the point of winning league titles. Erik ten Hag, his recruitment strategy, when he's had control of it, nobody else, him, has been garbage. He's spent so much money on Anthony. He's spent so much money on the players that he has done. And we're seeing very little in return of what you're saying, Nuruddin, good football. We'll give a manager time and money if it means we're going to see a style of play implemented and good football. I can get onto the bandwagon of the first season. He can make his mistakes. I don't really care. That's a write-off season. If he doesn't do anything in the first season, I don't care. Second season, he's had some time. He's had a little bit of money to spend. So he's got a couple of his boys in there. I want to see a style of play. If it means that we lose games, guys, but we play true to the way that we want to play, I can accept that. But the results, based upon this season, haven't been good. And the performance and the style of play hasn't been there either. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying about this manager. And it wouldn't surprise me, again, like I said before, if you go to Forest, these players, and they down tools on him, and we'll be sat here and we'll forget this game completely. Just like we did with the Chelsea game when we lost to Bayern and we lost to Bournemouth. We'll forget that game. That game's gone now. See you later. Tonight, let's relish in the win. Yes, we've got 3 points. But if they go to Forest and they put up an absolute stink fest, this game's going to be completely forgotten about. And we're all going to be sitting here talking about Erik ten Hag again. So at the end of the day, we can give him his flowers based upon the result that he's got. Yes. But the core problem with us is we haven't built a style of play in 18 months. And for me, the only thing that this guy was known for was playing the Ajax way of football. And when he comes to Manchester United and he says, I want to play the United way, that doesn't spring me with confidence because the United way and the Ajax way is different. And the only thing that this guy knew coming into Manchester United was how to play the Ajax way. So he's basically doing what we said with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's learning on the job to play the United way. And for me, the United way of playing football in this day and age is out of fashion. Because Sir Alex Ferguson in this day and age would struggle playing that way. But he was a great man manager. That's what got him by. He could inspire players. Erik ten Hag needs to inspire this dressing room to get behind him, have a clear identity. Even if you want to play the Ajax way and you lose 4-0 to teams, I can accept that. But keep consistent with it and play some good football. That's all that we want right now. I don't care about winning an FA Cup because the season's written off. We won't win that. We're not in Europe anymore. You've got one game a week, Erik ten Hag. Build a style of play from now to the end of the season if you last that long. If you don't, nobody here will be surprised if he doesn't make it to the end of the season. Me included. As a summary, Nuruddin, I'm at the last point. As a summary, Erik ten Hag, if he wants to do the best thing right for him and keep his job till now to the end of the season, forget the style of play for 1 second, motivate these players and get them behind you because some of these players, they're questioning it a little bit. And we've seen it in recent weeks. They're throwing up arms, they're throwing limbs around as if they don't give a shite about you or this football club. Get back to basics and say to these players, Forget the Ajax way of playing. Forget me for a second. You play for Manchester United. Manchester United is about what? Hard work, working class, making an effort. That's minimum for Manchester United Football Club. We're not going to win trophies in the recent time, guys. But the one thing that I agree with you on, Nuruddin, is if we're not going to win trophies, I want to see good football. I want to see good football here and now. And if I'm not seeing it after 18 months and the amount of money this guy has spent, he deserves the criticism. And on tonight, on a game where he might have got it right in the second half, he deserves to be praised. 45 minutes and 90 minutes is completely different in my book. I want to see it for 90 minutes, and I want to see it for 5 consistent games, and we win all 5. That's consistency, and that's what we should strive for at Manchester United. Excellence, not complacency.
Yo, big up. I'll go to Bombay
Yeah, go
next. But Hector saying, did Ajax ever spend 400 million? Ajax spent money. Sorry, Hector. They had a fantastic CEO.
They recruit better than us.
Exactly. They've got a fantastic CEO. They had Overmars, which is a talented director of football, and they recruit well. They don't buy older granddad over the hill has-beens. They actually bought a player once, and he was over 28, and he was about to come, and then they said no. So listen, I've seen Swansea. I've seen Leeds play better football with guys who've been in the 3rd division, bottom of the football league. I see Luton players now playing good football. I'm sorry, you can't do it. But Erik ten Hag came out more than once, twice, 3 times and said, yeah, I actually prefer to play the style I want to play through the different routines and patterns in-game, not in the training ground. Well, you can fuck off with that talk, mate. You can fuck off with that talk. And here, in the Premier League, you have to do it in training for it to see it on the weekend. That's what you have to do, people. But big up to Windy. Windy says here, Unai said in the first interview that he was looking forward to being able to hit the ball over to Rashford. He told us that's what he's going to do. Listen, no, we listen, but
He's not a goalkeeper.
Windy, you know what? All I wanted was to keep the fucking out of the ball. Boumbaye, what did you think about that goal and his performance? And looking forward, do you think the players can get any confidence from this? Or are we going to be back to rock bottom? And then listen, there's nearly 300 of you here watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I think somebody can check for me, but I think we're nearly 9K, despite YouTube unsubscribing people, because we stand up for humanity and Palestinians, and we stand up for the people in Congo, the people in Sudan, the people in Ethiopia, and people everywhere where there's war and suffering is. So please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm just having a look now to see where we are. Come on, people, you can subscribe. I think we're 60 short of 9K. So come on, people, 300 of you in here. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Share, like. Boumbaye, go ahead. You've not spoken for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, a manager has to earn his time. You don't just give a manager a set amount of time, irrespective of how he uses it, as he's, burning up that time. 6 months for me is sufficient time to introduce a style of play. If that's there, that buys you time, because as a fan, you see that this team is really trying to do something. It's vivid, it's clear, we like it, but it's just not getting the results. Or you get results, and that buys you time to continue to work to get to the style of play. But if you have neither, then the questions start to be asked, because there's a lot of money here, there's resources, there's a platform where you need to be getting those. And if you are given a contract for a certain amount of time, there are minimum targets you need to hit. For example, Van Gaal dropped below the Champions League, they changed him. So this is how football works, and it can't be how long is a piece of string. At a certain point, a manager will either have your faith and back him because you believe he is the right person, or you'll say, I just don't see that this person is the man that is the right fit. So that's fair that polarizes fans, and I suppose time will tell, just as much as time will tell whether what we achieve today is going to have a lasting effect. By lasting effect, I'm only talking about the next game, or if we're going to do what we do customarily, which is fall apart. One game good, we turned the corner? Let's build on this. Kaput, everything goes straight to hell. And I'll just say about today's game, you know that I am somebody that looks for positives. I'm not particularly fond of Erik ten Hag's tenure up to this point, and depending on who you'd offer me, I would change him. But more likely, at the end of the season, if it was going to be an interim, if it was going to be an actual manager, then I would pull the trigger myself. However, tonight, I take my hat off to him. I give props to the players. It was great to turn it around. It's the best night of football I've watched this season from Man United. But what I'd say, to put it into a little bit more of a context, Aston Villa today, Unai Emery, he has to take some blame for that, because they're 2-0 up. What he should have watched the entire season, Manchester United, if he's done his homework, is just give them the ball and put two banks of 5 in front of them, and they won't do anything. He persisted to constantly push a high line. He did not stop doing that for 90 minutes, and that is what effectively allowed us to get in, and just kept creeping in and creeping in and creeping. He made a mistake. At 2-0, just lock the shop, give United the ball. They're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. We saw it at Bournemouth. We've seen it many, many games. That's something that we have a problem with. Our wingers don't go on the outside. They always want to come inside and shoot, and then there's just people waiting there to block it. But he's just going for it. But 2-0 forced Erik ten Hag to make changes to the idea of how we wanted to play. And he said to him, listen, we're at home, we're 2-0 down. We have to go for it. We have to take risks now. And Unai Emery fought fire with fire. They were still trying to counter. They still kept men high. Should have just locked it up. But end of the day, that's not our problem. So that game played nicely into our hands, and it's, he has to take a little bit of credit for that mistake for me. But the key is, can we go to Forest? Can we get a result? Can we get a performance? I don't know, because so far this season, we haven't been able to do that. Erik ten Hag today gets the plaudits, but it doesn't mean anything yet. It's one game at home. It was one half of football. The first half for me was not good. It was awful. And we do play some of the worst football in England. And we are underachieving a lot. So we will see next week what happens. Maybe he goes, he brings McTominay back. Maybe we're not happy with the performance. Maybe you don't get a result. Like Tom said, this is old news now. This tonight doesn't mean anything. You didn't build on it. So this is where we are with Man United. It's all about time. Time will tell.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, 100% time will tell. Listen, people, let's get to 9K while we're still live tonight. Listen, I'm going to go to Lesso. Lesso, can you please switch me off? There's a feedback that we're getting. When I unmute you, there's a feedback. I can hear some feedback. Okay. Am I on somewhere? Can you switch me off?
It'll be on your background screen, Leicester. It'll probably be when you click the link to join.
Can you switch me off?
Okay.
I think it's gone
now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone now. Yeah, no. you've got rid of it. Yeah.
It's still there, actually.
Awesome.
It's still there, but it's still there. But go ahead.
Oh yes, I actually wanted to give my brother something to say actually, but he went to sleep actually. But he was fairly enjoying the conversation.
Listen,
the debate going around.
He probably went to sleep. He went to sleep because he's so happy that he gassed out because Manchester United won.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, besides that, man, I mean, obviously I wanted to give him a go because he was very interested in the whole debate with the manager, and should a manager be here, how long should you give a manager in terms of, to implement a style of play and that sort of thing. And that's what I'm at. Like, this is why I said that Van Gaal, as much as anything, he was able to instill a style of play, even with the likes of Paddy McNair and Tyler Blackett in the team. So I'm not trying to hear this excuse that you need specific players to instill a style of play. Yes, you do need a specific players or personnel to achieve trophy. You understand? But to actually instill a style of play, you don't really necessarily need these type of players that we're all talking about. Because if Van Gaal could do it with those players, you can't tell me that Ten Hag can't do it with the current players that he has right now to his disposal. You know, you've got smaller teams who play more attractive football than we play. Can you honestly sit here and tell me that those smaller clubs actually have better players than us pound for pound? You can't.
No.
So it's not an excuse. As a manager, if you cannot do that, that's the most primary principle when you come into a football club. If you don't have a style of play, you're sacked anywhere you go. You know, like last time I remember I mentioned this to Nuruddin. I was like saying that Benitez at Real Madrid, immediately when he did not have a style of play or met a specific style of play, within the few months he was gone. You know, that's what happens. You know, football clubs all have an identity, and they all bring managers and expect those managers to meet those identities. Obviously, we don't have an identity at the moment because we are run by clowns. But besides the point, we need to have a sustainable identity, whereas every manager that we hire has to meet a specific criteria in terms of the style of play, and it should be non-negotiable. Because we're looking for something that's sustainable, right? So if we're not actually doing something that's sustainable, then what are we trying to do to begin with? You know, if we're just gonna bring anyone into the football club who's just gonna come in and do their own thing, then I mean, that's where the problems come, because he brings his own types of players, and then those type of players can play the style of football, although they don't fit the style of football. You bring in a counter-attacking manager, and then from a low-blocking counter-attacking manager, we bring in someone who plays a possession-based style of football. That's where things get messed up. Whereas with Van Gaal, I feel like from the get-go, he knew what he wanted to do. And, you know, he brought in the type of players that fit what he wanted to do. It's just that I think he also kind of cowered out of his style of play in the beginning, and then he slowly tried to bring it back. But it was like kind of too late at that point, you know, because I remember what changed him in terms of his style of plays when we lost 5-3 to Leicester City. I don't think if guys remember that game. I feel like after that game, we stopped being explosive going forward.
We were never
I think that's
explosive
and we became more
under Van Gaal, but carry on.
No, the first two games we actually were, especially if you look at the Leicester game, how we played, because I was looking at these games and that was the first time I actually got excited about Man United playing, because I was like, okay, I haven't seen this attacking, you know, direct style of football for a very long time. And then once Leicester, like, I don't know, once he didn't close shop, I think we were 3-1 up. He didn't close shop. Leicester came back from the 3-1 down, and they won 5-3.
Vardy hat
Sorry?
trick. Vardy scored a hat trick.
Yeah,
Vardy scored a hat trick.
exactly. Yeah, and then from that he became pragmatic. He became pragmatic and a more you know, that was the style of play I was actually excited on seeing, and we stopped playing it. And he tried to bring it towards the end, but it was like sort of too late, because the players have adapted to more of the pragmatic style of the way we were playing. So
I think
that's what I expect from a manager. You can't do that. If Van Gaal could come in and do that within the first couple of games, you can't tell me a manager takes 18 months to do something that simple. That's on the manager, not on anyone else.
No. So if I can just jump in here, I don't think I think this quote unquote style of play, you know, thing that people are throwing around is like a catch-all term essentially for all the grievances that we have against Ten Hag. No, but let me just.
All due respect, Sean. No, Sean. I'm not. Sean.
Okay.
Sean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to challenge that.
I would incorporate your challenge into my response.
Sean, no, because I've been quiet tonight. You guys have spoken. You guys have been debating. But I'm not going to let you get away with some ridiculous thing.
Okay.
At Liverpool, Klopp came in. Within the first 5 months, you could see what he was trying to do.
So can I come in here?
You might have an argument to say, we're not seeing, Ten Hag's not showing us what what he wants to.
That's not my argument at all. At all. Like my own argument is that my argument is that.
Listen. No. Let me finish. Angie went to Spurs. They're playing horrendous Conte football, dog shite, absolutely dog shite. And then they were playing Conte assistant style of football, absolute dog shite. He goes there, within 3 to 4 months, they're fucking bobbing teams off the park. They're literally bobbing teams off the park. So I'm sorry to say, why are Manchester United starved of that style of football? We're not accepting it. We're not here for it. We're never going to accept it because we know we can't compete for Champions League. We know we can't compete for a league title. So when I go to that fucking stadium, Sean, I want to see Manchester United do triangles and keep the fucking ball. And I want to see goals.
So let me respond now.
I want to see excitement. I want to see Manchester United won 4-3, 5-4. That's what I want to fucking see.
I hear you.
So
and you're
telling me that a style of play, it's just something that fans say. No! You see it with my own fucking two eyes.
That's not what I said.
I see it with my own 2 eyes.
That's not what I said, Nuruddin. I said style of play is a catch-all term for all our grievances. And I think in your response, you just proved my point. When, after everything you said, it ended up being about... I
don't think you're hearing me. I don't think you've heard me.
You're not hearing me
I've been on this channel, Sean. I've been on this channel. We've interacted. I've said to you, I'm one of the... How many times have I said this? I said, I'm one of the lucky bastards. I've seen Manchester United win it all, playing attacking football. I say, there's 3 results in the football. You win, you lose, you draw. But one thing I'm not accepting is dull fucking football. I'm not accepting dull football.
Just let me make my point.
Style of play, Sean, style of play in modern football, keep people off their fucking feet.
Just let me make my point.
The reason why millions and millions, almost 1 billion people around the world support Manchester United is because of what? It's because
of the style of play.
Exactly. Manchester United, exciting, goals, games, never say that.
I don't disagree
all
with
these
you.
things are part of it.
I don't disagree with that.
And I'm sorry to say, Ajax are not just all. Ajax also never die say attitude. Ajax football,
I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
They all play. So when you tell me and say, "Oh, it's just a big," no, it's not. Listen,
I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but you're not.
So what are you talking about then?
So then listen. Listen to what I'm saying. Then I am saying at this point in time, the critique of style of play is a catch-all term for all the grievances that United fans have with Ten Hag at this point in time. I am not saying that style of play is not real. I am not saying that United don't have a style of play or that we never had a style of play. I'm saying that is not the critique that should be leveled at Ten Hag at this point in time. There are many things to find wrong with him. I don't think style of play is one of them, because when I look at United right now, let me make my point. Because when I look at United right now, I know exactly what he intends for the keeper to do.
Okay, Sean,
I know. Just Tom, let me just make my point, please. Tom, let me just make my point real quick. When we look at United right now, you know exactly what Ten Hag wants his keeper to do. He signed the keeper specifically for that reason. You know exactly what he wants from his wing backs, from his right back and his left back. You know exactly what he wants from a midfielder. He brought in a midfielder, Mr. Mount, in the summer to play a specific type of football. He brought in Anthony. So he has the idea, definitely, of what he's trying to do. This idea. Sure. Wait, just let me make my point. Last season, we ended up with one of the strongest defenses, not just in the league, but in Europe in general, with Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. Ten Hag brought in a goalkeeper, Onana. To add to that, to strengthen that was the platform from which he wanted to build his football. Now, at no point in this season have we had 2 consecutive games with his preferred starting back four available. This idea that you don't need a specific player to make a style of play, it's just not true. The difference between all these people you're mentioning.
I'm sorry, Sean. That is a lie. This is the biggest thing, Sean. When you build a system forget style of play. When you build a system in a team, when you do it with 18, 19 players in training, you know what's going to happen. The quality of the player might infatuate. So it might be higher or lower, but you still play the same fucking way.
I just read out
You
two
still
stats for
play
you.
the same way.
We lost
Okay.
2-0 against West Ham, had 65% possession
No,
and double the
no.
amount of passes.
No,
Nuruddin,
how many shots
we
had?
lost
Sean,
3-0.
How many shots have we had? Sean, I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna let this go. How many saves did the goalkeeper of West Ham make?
Okay, no, so you want to know about shots, right? You want to know about shots? I'll give you stats for shots.
many
Like
shots?
if that's what you want, exactly. Just hold on. Let me
No,
pull
I'm
up the.
asking. No, answer the question. Answer the question.
I'm pulling
gonna
up
tell you exactly what
the
happened,
stats
right?
now.
No,
I'm
forget
pulling
the
up the
stats.
stats now.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you already. Their goalkeeper made a save against Garnacho with his legs for a
Mhm.
one-on-one. Anthony did this weird shot, right? Where it was in the air, which was absolutely nothing, and he caught it with his eyes closed. And then the other shot was from Kobe.
So this
from a
season,
corner that we had. Let me finish. From a corner that we had, and Kobe hit it into the ground. It was a P-roller that he pushed, and he could have gone in, but it was such a P-roller that he could have caught it and slept with it and kissed at the ball. But
this
that
season,
was it.
this
We
season
dominated
we are
that.
ranked.
Listen to me.
This
Listen
season
to
we
me.
are ranked
Let
sixth
me
in
finish.
terms of
Let me
shots.
finish.
We are
Let me
ranked
finish.
sixth in shots,
Let me
Nuruddin.
finish.
Don't you
Sean,
think that's a
let me
realistic
finish.
reflection of
Let
our
me
position in the
finish,
league?
Sean, let me finish. I don't give a fuck about 65-70% possession when I can remember after how many days later the 3 shots on target Manchester United had. Kobe Manu P-roller, Anthony P-roller in the air, and the only proper save was
I just gave you
on
the
Garnacho.
stats on shots. I just gave you the stats on shots
No.
this season. We're ranked sixth in the league this season on shots.
Guys.
That reflects exactly where we are in the league.
Guys,
Like,
Sean, forget stats and forget shots and forget
Okay.
everything. I'm going to ask you.
Yes, we are sixth.
Hang on.
Manchester,
Sean,
Manchester United. No, Tom, I gotta say this. Manchester United. I remember the days. Bombay will tell you. We would lose games, and the man of the match is the opposition goalkeeper. At Old Trafford or away, the opposition goalkeeper will be the man of the match. We would have hit the post. We would have hit the bar. The goalkeeper makes 3 or 4 saves at least. I've seen many a goalkeeper. There's Heaton now. Heaton played when we played on Jose against Burnley at Old Trafford. Zlatan was missing sitters after the only season that I can think was Paul Pogba. And what's the other guy that we bought? The Albanian guy, the Armenian or whatever he was.
Oh,
the
Mkhitaryan.
Mkhitaryan, Pogba setting goals up for Zlatan. And in that season, Manchester United made so many shots, hit the bar, hit the post in so many different games. Ever since then, I have not seen fuck all. It was one season out of 10 where I could say, you know what? Actually, the striker kept missing. And the goalkeeper just made incredible saves. And you know what? Jose Mourinho's tenure, one game, the only game I can remember where United went in and all out. We lost 3-0 to Spurs. United dominated the game. All the chances fell to Lukaku. He missed absolute sitters again and again and again in those positions. I was in the Stretford end. I clapped Jose and the players off. I am not give a fuck about losing. When you tell me Manchester United are 6, some of the shots, are they shots on target? No, they're fucking not. Get me the stat for shots on target.
Okay.
Get me the stat for shots on target this season. Manchester United have Bruno Fernandes against West Ham, came inside on his right foot, 35 yards out, off balance, shot with his left foot. He ended up near the fucking corner flag in Rosette. I'm sorry, Sean. United keep possession for possession's sake. That's what got Van Gaal the sack at the end. Because
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
And did fuck all.
I agree with you on that fact that keeping the ball for keeping the ball sake doesn't get you anywhere. What I'm trying to say is that Ten Hag definitely, and the stats bear this out, Ten Hag definitely has instituted something of a style of play. It is clear how he intends to play. Now the difference between him and any of these other managers is 3 points. So he's losing, and therefore it all looks bad.
Sean,
He's
But
losing,
Sean,
and the team is in a very bad way right now. We are in
no,
a bad way
no.
this season.
Sean, I swear, this is what I'm trying to fucking get you to understand. If I could see what he was doing, I would be on here telling every fucking buddy and their nan, saying to them, we can see it. It's better. We will see it.
Yeah.
We will see it.
Yeah,
Hold
okay.
on, people. I
that's
can't
fair.
see fuck all with Scott fucking McTominay. Can't fucking control a ball. Can't pass a fucking ball. Just put it in the mixer, let it take 10 deflections, and then he'll stick his head on it. And
That's fair.
That's not style of play.
That's fair,
That is
Nuruddin.
not style of play.
What I would say is that
Bombay is about to leave. I want to get Bombay's last word. He's going to bed. Bombay, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, guys. You know, a good comeback, a good win, and hopefully we can see some progress next week. And I guess you just have to sometimes let time take its toll. But I think with regards to style of play, there are teams where, you know, style of play, I'm somebody that subscribes to. There is a system in place, then you should be able to continue to at least look the same, but perhaps minus a little bit of individual quality. But the team should function still, even without certain players, if you have a style. And irrespective, I think, of if Eric does have a style of play, and he is working towards something, there is a question. It's a fair question. Is it something that we are happy with? Is it something that we like to watch? Because other managers did
that is the question.
Other managers did.
Fuck no.
I know that. And other managers
Scott
did.
McTominay, who can't control a fucking football as a number 10. And we can't even put the ball in the box for him. We got nobody who crosses the ball. What the fuck?
I mean, look, Ericsson's back now. Maybe you won't see
for
Scott
how long though
McTominay.
before he got this out, Bombay? He played fantastic tonight. Man of the match by absolute miles tonight. Without Ericsson, we don't win that game tonight. But how long is he going to sustain, like Sean said at the beginning of the show? We know that we can't get excited about that because he usually gasses out.
I mean, let's see who comes back and what teams are being selected. I know that even Maguire has been somebody that we've had to play. I mean, there's the moment you're saying, thank God we didn't sell Scott and Harry because we've had injuries and they've been able to come in.
I swear to God, I swear on my mother's grave,
I know what you're going to say.
I would give the fucking youngsters a chance. And you know who would have played tonight?
Hannibal.
Kambala would have played sooner, and then Dan Gore would have played instead of Scott McTominay, and I would have been fucking happier with that. Fuck me.
I just finished by saying
that he came on, made his Premier League debut tonight. Big up to Dan Gore. That made a smile on my face. What a young player.
That was the cherry on the cake. I mean, I'm just going to finish by saying certain managers have given us really good results and good finishes and won a few things, but people didn't like how they were applying the team, how the team played. So I think here you may have a plan. I think it's, you know, I can't see the plan, and most of the pundits agree that they can't see exactly what it is Manchester United are trying to do. But if you can see it, then there is the question for those of us that can see it, perhaps we don't like it. And that is and what it is a prelude to. Because at the moment, it's really hard work. I find it to watch United. I'm never on the edge of my seat. I'm always anxious, and I'm having to get my fix watching other teams, as you said.
Facts.
But
I watch every other team, and I'm entertained.
Yeah.
When it comes to United, I dread it. I'm like, oh.
Likewise, and that's been the case for the majority of last season after the World Cup, and I feel that this season we've actually looked, you know, worse than we ever did last year.
No, last season, but you know, Bombay, you didn't want to open your eyes. You and majority of the fan base did not want to open those eyes.
It's not that. No,
January onwards,
do you know what happened last year? Let me tell you what happened last year, bro.
After January onwards, the football was dog shite.
Bro, do you know what happened last year? All that happened was we got some results and we achieved certain objectives. And it's the first year, so you think, you know what, we are behind in that department, but let's just go with it. And hopefully this year we'll sign a few. And then I was saying, you know, at the beginning of the season, 3 months, hopefully we'll see, you know, something that we like to tune into, that will show us what we're going to be going forward. But not only have I not seen that once, I actually hate what I'm seeing even more than last year, and this is why I can't go with how long is a piece of string, and I would be ready to cash my chips in, but it depends on what's there. So with that, gentlemen, wish you good night and hopefully Happy New Year, and I hope Christmas was good for everybody and free Palestine.
Yeah,
Leave it
man,
on
free
there.
Palestine, free
All
Palestine.
right. Good night,
Viva
everyone.
Eric Cantona with that beautiful shirt. I can't wait. I've ordered it, Bumpy. I can't wait to get. I want to get. I've ordered a long sleeve one, so I'm
You'll have
waiting
to send
for it. It's going to
me.
take time for it
You'll
to
have to
arrive.
send me. You'll have to send me the link so that I can order one as well.
Yeah. Big up to you.
Good night,
JD
everyone.
said, "Mr. Structure is a fraud. Long live Sir Jim." JD, once you remove your tongue from Jim's ass, maybe we can have a conversation. But at the moment we can't because you're very busy. So good luck with that. Enjoy that boot licking and ass licking. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it, my friend. Like they said, the bigger picture to be able to see it now. I understand that the core of the squad ain't good enough, and there will never be anything to see to the cost. No, I'm sorry, Hector. Hector, I would agree with you. I helped my friend's Sunday League team for 6 months. We worked on playing the ball out of the back with a back five. We did it for over 40 minutes every training session, drilling. We made sure that every time when the goalkeeper's got the ball, or either the left back or the right back or either the centre half, there are two options. Every player makes that two angles. They make two angles. And then we made it so if a team does the full press and marks everybody like a five-a-side, then the goalkeeper's got the option to dink it into midfield. One of the strikers, because they play with the number 10, he would drop in, or the striker will drop in and collect that ball and then turn.
Wait, so Nuruddin, what happens if four of your first team back four gets
and you know
injured?
what? And you know
Two
what?
players get accused of sexual assault. Your ownership scandal. There's an ownership scandal basically going on. Ownership uncertainty.
Listen, he came out tonight. Sean. Watch the press conference afterwards. He said none of that affected us. None of those things were on our minds.
He has to say that.
No, he doesn't. Of course he does. Not now. Not now he doesn't. Not now he doesn't.
It's the same reason why after every game he comes out and says we played well. We had many chances, but like Sean, he has to say that.
Sean, do you not think that this Sunday League team, they're like amateurs? They're just people who are amateurs. They've got kids. Some of them have changed jobs. New players.
But these professional footballers are humans.
Listen to me, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So these at least get paid millions and get fucking pampered to fuck modern footballers. So these Sunday League guys, once one of them broke their leg, they're off work for 6 months. They had to fight that the job let them go because it was a physical job. They had to find a job in admin. They can work from home. So I'm sorry to say, that happens in everybody. Those things are happening, but I'm telling you.
No, but it doesn't happen to everybody. It doesn't happen to everybody.
Listen to me. I've got a coaching badge level 1, 2. That's all I've got. My friend is now working towards his UEFA P license, right? It's going to take him time. He's spending a lot of money, right? Next year, he's going to go to Europe to go on, do it as a cause. But I'm sorry, we can do that. I saw Swansea from the Championship do it. I saw Leeds. I saw players who played in the bottom of the league. I see Luton players doing it now, playing it, bang, 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 having shots on goal. Have you seen the way they cross the ball? Luton are the best crossers of the ball in the Premier League so far this season. Unstoppable. No, I don't. Listen, no, I don't. When you get your big tongue out of the Ratcliffe's ass, then you will see. I lose the plot because when somebody says something and is out of and that needs to be challenged, I challenge it. And if you don't know what passion is, then you're never gonna know. But you don't know any passion. You only know how to bootlick. So good luck with the bootlicking. But thank you for tuning in rent free.
Nuruddin, how can we scream for views or for clicks or for whatever when we're shadow banned? Mate, we don't even pop up on people's notifications. So what are we screaming for? We're just screaming for what, an echo?
Oh God!
What we're screaming for? But at the end of the day, if we take you back to football, guys, the way that I see it anyway is, I can't see a style of play. And with what you said, Sean, the question that I was going to ask you before was, and I don't want a monologue going on and on and on about stats or shots or anything like that. I just want to know what it is. What you're seeing, tell me the style of play of Manchester United. That's all I want to know.
Okay. In my opinion, I think it's of the same Pep Klopp school of inverted fullbacks, high pressure, a keeper that can play out of the back, aggressive, intensive ball recovery. As the manager himself articulated, intensive ball recovery in the opposing third, quick transitions. Basically, he wants to play high tempo, aggressive football. It's what he thought he was doing when he brought in Onana and signed Mason Mount and tried to play Casemiro, Mason Mount and Bruno in midfield, is what he wanted to do, or what he thought he was doing when he signed a pressing forward, not just a striker, a fox in the box striker or a poacher or something. He had a profile of a striker that he was looking out for specifically. And Hojlund, although too young and too expensive for his talent at this point in time,
he wanted Harry Kane. Long story short, Harry Kane.
He wanted a profile, a specific type of striker. He has what he's trying to do. Now, what I'm saying is that, like, I would agree that definitely it should be expected of him, of any manager of Manchester United, to get more out of the team than he has already done. I would agree with that 1,000%. But I also think if I was one pulling the trigger, let me take the POV that Bomaye did as well. If I was one pulling the trigger, I am more sympathetic to the argument that the context and the external environment around the club is such that, it was just with the injuries and with everything that was going on, that a top 4 or top 6 finish, to me, a top 4 or top 6 finish where we stabilize towards the later half of the season is enough for me. Now, with the real test will be in the summer. If the manager comes in the summer and with a new 25%, whatever, and I don't want Nuruddin to accuse me of bootlicking or something.
Go on.
Yeah.
Have you taken a trip to Monaco lately?
No. But
Okay,
that's
good.
For me.
Stay
That's
away from Monaco.
That's exactly how I see, like, the path forward. Is essentially, like, the failings that Ten Hag has, to me, this season has been man management. That is where he has failed. And regardless of whatever idea you have, if the team, if your unit is not cohesive, like if there is no bond, if there's no chemistry within the team, if there's no togetherness, if you're not motivated, regardless of how good your idea is, how solid, this is something that we all know in business, in life, in work, or whatever. Any place that you're working, if the units, look, no matter how good people are at their job, if there is that not togetherness within the team, you cannot progress. And I think that's the mistake that Ten Hag has made this season.
Sean. Okay, so long story short, you're saying that he's trying to copy Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola.
Not that he's trying to copy.
Hold on. I've let you talk. Now I'm going to talk.
Yeah, but don't say what I didn't say.
He wants to copy. He wants to basically mirror image inverted fullbacks, which is how Jurgen Klopp and how Pep Guardiola want to play, and play aggressive style attacking football. If that's what you're telling me, Jurgen Klopp showed that in 6 months. 6 months. Pep Guardiola showed that in 12 months, but he needed some players to do it. 12 months.
It's the same thing Arsenal is doing through Arteta as well. Is doing the same thing.
Hold on, let me finish. 12 months and 6 months is different to 18 months and £600 million. Klopp did not spend £600 million in 6 months to play that way. Neither did Pep in 12 months at Manchester City to have to play that way. So now, with Erik ten Hag, if you're trying to tell me he wants to play this aggressive style, inverted fullbacks inside, and play as a low block back three and play attacking football, that's fine. But if you're telling me that that's how he wants to play, that's not what we're seeing. It's not. If you see 2 fullbacks inside the midfield, yeah, I see that. That's fine. But I'm not seeing any progressive play. I'm not seeing any aggressive football. The only difference is they might turn up in one game where the pressure cooker's on them, like it was in Chelsea, like it was tonight. But then in another game, You won't see that. You might see players play invertedly, and you might see a stone wall of a back three on the halfway line, but that's it. The thing that I'm saying is, as a style of play set in, Jurgen Klopp, when he went into Liverpool, and Pep Guardiola, when he went to Manchester City, had set style of plays within 12 months of each other. 12 months. Albeit they didn't get results instantly. They had to instill it.
Exactly.
That's it. Pep in his first season,
and they didn't chase 4
he even
trophies,
agreed.
Tom.
No, in the first season with
They didn't
Pep
chase
at
4
City,
trophies.
he didn't
and Tom,
chase
let me
4
tell you one thing.
trophies.
They didn't burn out their players. They didn't use 13 players in 4 competitions and burn out their fucking players in the most congested season in football history with a World Cup in the middle. They didn't do that. They didn't do that.
That's why
they had lots of injuries as well, by the way. You remember when Klopp came into Liverpool, Tom, they were dropping like flies.
I think
they were not used to the intensity.
I think it was 10 players at one point. But anyway, what I'm saying is the basis of it is, if Eric Ten Hag says that he wants to play that way, I can't understand after 18 months why we haven't seen that. And what I mean by see that is, for say 3 to 5 games consistently playing that way, win, lose or draw, play that way. He tried to play what you're saying, Sean, for 2 games at the start of last season, Brentford and Brighton, and we got slapped up in both of them. If that's what he wanted to do and how he wanted to play, he should have stuck to that motive, because I'm Eric Ten Hag, and that's what I know. That's what you brought me in to do, to play that way. When he went to that Manchester United interview, he would have sold himself based upon that style of play that he had at Ajax, not based upon the United way. Because if you want to base it upon the United way, you would have probably had Pochettino be the manager. Because Pochettino would have done exactly what this football club structure currently right now would have wanted him to do. And that's be the yes man that he is and work under a football structure which is incompetent, like he did at Tottenham. So if we're sitting it and basing it off of what we see right now, the style of play is garbage. But on the odd game, it's commitment and work ethic that will get you through and win you a game. And Villa in that second half, the commitment and work ethic of them fell off. And that's the reason why we won the game. But commitment and work ethic consistently will not win you games on a consistent basis. It's not. You need to have performance, quality, and attributes. And as our players right now, we don't have that. And this manager, the one thing that you said he needs to improve on, Sean, is man management. He can't motivate these players to win consistently week in, week out. And that's worrying, because if you can't do that as Manchester United manager, you shouldn't be there. And if he can't instill a style of play after 18 months, regardless if he's at Manchester United or is at Go Ahead Eagles, if you can't instill a style of play in 18 months and the money that he has spent, it's very, very concerning. Because I wouldn't trust a guy with another penny, either under this structure that we have right now, or if Ratcliffe supposedly comes in with Dodgy Dave and all of his bags of tricks and thinks that that's going to suddenly change everything.
And the inhalers.
That's what I'm saying, Dodgy Dave, mate. Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy Dave. Listen. We're gonna have to cut it there. Georgie B, I'm shocked at this comment. Angie has been manager for 19 games. Let's see if he's still manager Spurs next year. Odds are he'll be gone. Why do you think he'd be gone? Well, if they sack him, then that'll be on Spurs. But what he's done in 19 games have been incredible. I swear to God.
I've been entertained.
Spurs,
I have honestly, yeah.
The Spurs are my favourite team to watch in the league. I swear to God, I watched them bop teams off the park. I watched them win, lose or draw. They bop you off that park.
Win, lose or draw, and you know the one thing, even with injuries.
Exactly.
He played 2 fullbacks one time. I know he lost the game. He went to Wolves. I think he lost 2-1. They were lucky not to have come out of there and won with 2 late goals. But the way that Ange set up, I think he had Emerson and Ben Davies as his 2 centre halves. But he still had players like Eric Dyer, and there was I think it was a young youth player that he had on the bench who was designated centre halves. But because he didn't trust them to play that way that he wanted, he inverted and played 2 fullbacks to play centre halves. And Emerson and Ben Davies are not centre halves. Reasonably, they're wing backs. But the problem that I have anyway with Eric Ten Hag is, if he wants to play that way that I said, Sean, if he can't play that way right now, improvise. Either you build a new formation and you say, I'm going to commit to this for now until I can get more players in so I can play that way. and hope recruitment is good for me in the next window if I make it there, or he has to improvise and say, you know what, Jadon Sancho, forget what's fucking happened. I need you right now. Put a Yusuf Kouinas in place and say, do you know what? I need a fresh start. I need to start from scratch and start from basics. And from minute one, he can bring all the kids up from the academy and say, I want you joining in first team training. And I want to pick a starting 11 from everybody, the youth team players and now. And whoever impresses me in training and the instructions of the way that I want to play, which is this hybrid, and I'll show you it, whoever follows this hybrid of how I want to play, the best will play. It's as simple as that. And I will stick to that same game plan that I show you as a hybrid, and we'll play that way every single match, win, lose, or draw. That's how Ange has got those players at Spurs from playing boring Mourinho and Conte football to fluid, fast attacking football. Even with their best players out, like Maddison, like Van de Ven, even with their key players out,
that's exactly what Ten Hag is doing at United. That's exactly what he's doing.
He's not, Sean, because
the difference is that Tottenham doesn't have overpaid spoils brats trying to sabotage the team's success because they're not getting their own way.
That's actually, you know what, Tom? Actually, he's got a point there. The Spurs players are younger. The majority of them are younger, and they want to prove something. They're playing for this manager. They want to make a prove to this manager that they stay in the team because they've got an amazing stadium that the Spurs fans are all going crazy.
It's positive. That's why they've got a positive environment. Right now, we don't have that.
And Manchester United, I agree with Sean. We got overpaid, overrated prima donnas who need to fuck off.
But the only difference and the only solution that you're going to do with that, supposedly anyway, Nuruddin, is, like I say, Dodgy Dave's coming in with the inhalers. They might run a couple of miles, so we're never going to have to work on work rate, or we need some more legs in here. Get the inhalers out, guys. Let's go.
But Tom, let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you a question, Tom. If you agree that these players are overpaid sport brats, and now we're faced with a choice, right?
Yeah.
We're faced with a choice between a manager who you claim doesn't know what he's doing and players who don't even want to turn up in the first place. Who do you back? Because if you sack the manager, just forget it. You can't sell 11 players in the summer. If you sack the manager, whoever you bring in is going to have to work with this squad.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas,
but I want them all out. I want them all out. If the manager goes, Sean, then they all have to go.
That's exactly what my answer was going to be. And you answered my question, the question for me, Sean. If Erik ten Hag goes, I'm not just saying that Erik ten Hag should go. The players should go with him. And in the summer,
what players is your suggestion that we sell 11 players in the summer?
Yes.
How is that going to?
Yes, it can happen. It can happen. Yes. It happened at Chelsea, did it not? A couple of weeks ago. And Chelsea, are shite right now. But do you know what they've done, Sean? They've built a foundation for in the future because why? They brought in loads of young talent and potential. But that young talent doesn't have any experience next to it to flourish with. They're all on the same playing field. They don't know anything about winning consistently or playing.
Have you spoken to a Chelsea fan recently? They also want to sack the manager and sack out a bunch of players too.
Listen, that's Chelsea Football Club, mate. They can't wait for anything. Listen, they can't hold their own piss them lot without saying that they want a manager sacked. With us lot here, we'll get on board with a project, but I want to see something within 6 months that gets me giddy and off the edge of my seat. And right now, when I see Spurs and Ange doing what he's done, even in a short space of time, and they might win fuck all with it and playing that way, that's amazing, the basics of where you need to start from. And Arteta, for example, Nuruddin, I'll make this last point. Arteta last season at Arsenal played brilliant, fluid football, but what did he win? Nothing. He won zilch. So what he did in the summer was he reevaluated and reassessed the squad. He said, I'll get key players in that I need to improve, but forget playing brilliant and beautiful. We can play that in certain games if it means that that's the best way of us getting the result. But if it means that we just nick it 1-0, that's what you have to do if you want to win leagues. Us right now, you have to build a foundation right now. And if he says, as you say, Sean, he wants to play that way, with injuries or without injuries, top managers and top coaches motivate players to try and play that way, even if they can't. McTominay, in that sort of way that you're saying that he wants to play, doesn't have a use for playing that way. So if he doesn't have a use for playing that way, he should have left in the summer. Him and Maguire, regardless of the injuries right now, we can say in hindsight we've had injuries this season, so it's been brilliant that we still got them. Yeah, that's fine.
No.
They should
I
have
want
gone.
the young
They
players to
should
get a
have gone.
chance, Tom.
I wanted to
They
go.
should have gone. Any
They
football
should have
club.
gone. Forget it. And that's why I'm
This is
saying.
where I
I'm
agree with
agreeing
you, Sean. This is where I agree with you, Sean. 7 players. It was Martial, Sancho, McTominay, Maguire, Donny van de Beek, Fred, and somebody else, one other player. I think it might have been Wan-Bissaka. I think he wanted them all gone, if I'm not mistaken, and none of them left. Hey, we got Jarvis, Mr. Jarvis in the house. Jarvis, I'm happy for you, first of all. No, don't stop. Excuse me, Jarvis.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm so sorry.
No. Jarvis,
No.
please let me make this point. There is absolutely zero obligation to anybody to come on this channel. It is an absolute pleasure to have everybody who's here now to have. It's an honor to have you all. There's zero obligation. If you're free, if you can do it, do it. If you can't, no problem. That's how it works. So if you apologize to me, you're insulting me because I don't make the assumptions and I don't have the expectations. I don't do that. Okay? It's an honor and a pleasure.
But I feel an
to me,
obligation
more
for
than
it.
anything, tonight, I was so happy for you because Ericsson, your boy, turned up tonight. Oh my God, Jarvis. Your boy Ericsson
my man.
turned up. He turned up tonight. And I'm telling you, without him, we don't win that game. What I was so impressed with tonight, not what he did on the ball. I was blown away by what he was doing off the ball, Jarvis. I was absolutely gobsmacked what he was doing off the ball. He's positioning to press the ball. His angling of his body to read where the pass was going to go. Tonight, I was like, is it? I was amazed. That was the thing that I was like, oh my God, is this Ericsson tackling, intercepting, reading it, staying in the position? Everything that we've missed in midfield this season, Ericsson was doing it there. And I don't know how long this is going to continue, but what did I tell you last night? The high line Villa play could play into our hands. Did I not say that? Big up to Google this, by the way, as well. Google this said they're going to turn up. A couple of other people said United players will turn up because Jim the Rat is coming in. But go ahead. How did you see it, Jarvis? How did you see it?
Yeah, what a comeback. We gotta celebrate. We won a game, 3 points in the bank. It's not every time we win a game.
No.
So we gotta.
Jarvis, we've not scored a goal in 4 games.
Yeah,
We've not looked like
Suddenly
scoring a goal in 4 games.
but what can you say? Unai Emery, what a naive coach coming to Old Trafford and playing like that. Jesus Christ, he's playing like they were up 2-0. And he still played the high line. He's playing into our hands. Did he see what strikers we had on the field? We had Rashford, Mr. Ultra Pace himself. We had Garnacho. We had Hojlund, like 3 ultra fast strikers, and he still played the high line when they are up 2-0. Thank you, Unai Emery, for gifting us this
Jarvis,
on Boxing Day.
We broke the record for Premier League history for the most offsides in one game. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah,
Jarvis.
but I'm not getting giddy because I see this result as a one-off because of Unai Emery's extreme tactics in a way. And okay, the guys stood up today. They had a fight. We came back. Everything is fantastic. But I'm not getting giddy because next time we will go up against Nuno Espirito Santo. And we know how this guy plays. He plays a low block. He will sit down. He will neutralize everything and make us figure out how to attack and how to create chances.
Plus new manager bounce.
Yeah, plus new manager. He won't gift us this high line and a lot of room to run into. He will shut down everything, shut down shop, and it's up to Bruno and it's up to McTominay and it's up to whoever Ten Hag chooses to play to break them down. And I don't think we can do this because this is what I'm seeing. This is a one-off result, and we got to be real. Do you think we can build on this and this will be the change of the season and now everything will be fine?
No, No. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Jarvis, you weren't here. I said that we had to fight back. I actually thought that we controlled it better in midfield today, even the beginning of the game. Yes, there were shaky moments, with especially Leon Bailey. It was hard for us to contain him. And I thought Unana was disgraced. We conceded of two things because Unana was a disgrace for the first one, and Varane was even a bigger disgrace for the second one. Because Lockley...
He did like this.
Thank you, Jarvis. Jarvis,
like
can you
this.
do it again for the viewers, please?
He did like this. Why didn't you like this and head the ball instead? He let them pass the ball
Jarvis,
into the middle of the...
Jarvis, the ball was a stomach to hip level. It wasn't high because he headed it down like that. So the ball wasn't even, it wasn't him to head it. He just went out the way like that. The ball was going to hit his stomach or his chest or his head.
What was that all about?
It was unbelievable.
So
I thought, apart from that, I thought we passed the ball. I thought the chemistry in midfield was superb tonight. And that's why they didn't make many chances for Watkins, because they didn't dominate the ball in midfield. They dominated a little bit with a one-on-one that we left on the sides. Big up to Sean. Big up to Sean, man. Big up to Sean. Contribute to the show tonight. Big up, bro. Make sure you go and check out his podcast, How We See Things, across all platforms, podcast platforms, How We See Things. Go and check that out. But Jarvis, it was one of these things. It was one of these things, but I thought we dominated. I thought the balance, to me, even if we would have lost that game, Jarvis, I would have been happy with the balance, because Scott fucking Ghost McTominay was not there. And I thought the chemistry between Kobe and Eriksen was absolutely superb. The chemistry, that's the first time they played together. The chemistry between those two was unbelievable. And Bruno, for once, wasn't coming back. He was staying up the pitch.
Yeah,
he was staying up the pitch, doing the shit things that he was doing up the pitch.
I'm glad you saw that, Nordin, because that's a really important thing. And I've been saying this about Eriksen and Mainu. Both of these two guys are ballers. They know how to play the ball. They know how to pass the ball. They have footballing knowledge. They have spatial awareness. They know how to play ball. And that's what we have been lacking, because playing with McTominay, really, he can't even take down the ball and pass it on. He needs like 4 to 5 touches to do that thing. And his delivery is a little bit sloppy all the time. So now today, Eriksen is fantastic. Mainu is fantastic. We need a couple of more ballers to play with those two guys. We brought on some youth today at the end of the game. Hannibal, Dan Gore, both of them did well, I would say. And Hannibal, coming on at the end of the game, playing in the last 5 minutes, but he actually played smart. He took down the ball. He took his time. Took some free kicks, gave us some
breathing space.
That's the thing. So I think it's time now to try to release some of the youth. I'm done with playing McTominay. It's not the way going forward. But Google this, said it in the comments, as you mentioned, Nuruddin. This is a reaction of Ratcliffe. And I'm not sure, how will the players going forward? Is it sustainable? Do you think?
No, I don't. I honestly, I don't think so. I think tonight Villa's tactics played into our game. We can both see it. We've watched enough football. We've played enough football, and I think that's what happened. Listen, I'll give you the last word, bro. Yeah, the last word quickly. And then we'll go to Tom for the last word of the show.
Lesso.
You there, brother?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry
ahead.
about that. I muted my mic. But based on everything, I'd say, when we round up everything that we spoke about, it's all about sustainability. Whether or not we can carry on from what we've done today to future games, it's just not sustainable in how we play and how we organize ourselves in the style of, basically all around style of play. There isn't anything there. that he has implemented. He hasn't really helped himself, Tanakh, with not implementing a style of play. You can't do that. Like I always say, as a manager, you can't walk into a football club and not have the intentions of instilling a style of play right from the beginning. He basically changed a lot of times, whereas he was saying that he would implement the style of play, and then change, till the season, and he's saying that he doesn't want to play that style of play, wants to do something else, saying the United way because it was good on the ear. It's something that maybe he heard that United fans wanted. But at the same time, we hired you to come here to play proper football. We hired you to play entertaining football. If we wanted to achieve short-term success and play bad football, we would have hired Pochettino. I can't be a hypocrite. That's exactly what you couldn't refuse Pochettino in terms of that. If we really
Or Conte.
were going down that route. If we're really going down that route, but we chose Ten Hag because we thought he was coming with something that's very much sustainable in the long run, and it was very easy on the eye, something that we could get up to watch. But it turned out to be the exact opposite. So, and in my conclusion to that, I felt betrayed as a football fan, having to watch this nonsense for this entire season. And I don't think I can fathom watching this for another next 6 months. I really can't, and I speak for a lot of fans. I think it's not just me. It's a lot of friends complaining all over social media about the same style of football. They're saying that it's not sustainable. We don't know when we're going to win games, when we're going to draw games. And it's not even about winning, but it's about, us putting out a proper performance. It's about us putting something that we can, have hopes behind. In terms of performance-wise, it's not about results, to be honest. If we can get in someone who can actually do just the bare minimum at this point in time, because like Noreddin said last season, he did state that, what we're doing isn't sustainable. I think it went over a lot of people's heads because, there was no style of play, firstly. He was just playing a certain style of play, which got us results, but we all knew that long term, it was not going to do that. So we needed to not be engaging in all these competitions all at once. Instead, we should have focused on what we needed to do long term. But looking at all those things, coming together, that's what we need to do going forward. I don't know if I don't trust the gym. Sorry to say it, I just don't. And the manner and how he took over the club, it's just dodgy. It keeps the Glazers here. As much as he may have the full control of the sporting side of the football club, but the Glazers are still there. You understand? So we don't know really, the nitty-gritty of the deals. They will never put out every single thing out there. They can't do that. There's certain elements within contracts where they actually they don't keep transparent. They cannot show that to the public. So we don't really know what really is going to go on. So we can only go with the hearsays at this point. So going forward, it is what it is. I'm just going to be reserved. I don't really have much hopes in what we're trying to do. If you wanted me to have hopes, 100% hope, it is if the Glazers were to leave completely. Because even now with the managerial change, I'm not really 100% behind it. I do say that the manager needs to go, but we still have a structural problem. We still don't know where we stand. We can sit here and say the gym is
100%. 100%. Listen, it is what it is. Tom, go and have your last say, and then we'll let Jarvis has his last close out the show for us.
Yeah, we got the win tonight and everything. I personally don't think it's much to gloat over because I've been here before. I said it after the Chelsea game, and I'll say it again. Don't be surprised if the players down tools on him and drop and start waving and throwing their arms about at Nottingham Forest if they go down a goal. But the difference is, guys, if they go down 2-0 at Forest, Nuno Espirito Santo, mate, is going to park a big red fucking Nottingham bus straight in front of the goal, and you ain't going to see Jack Honora. You ain't going to be saved by Hojlund, by Garnacho, even by fucking Stevie Wonder. It's not going to happen. So at the end of the day, and another thing, I've coined
Stevie
the
Scott,
phrase.
McTominay Wonder.
Hold on. I've even coined the phrase. If you think dodgy Jim with his fucking tax evading in the Isle of Man, in Monaco, in the Cayman Islands, if you think dodgy Jim and dodgy Dave's coming here, mate, with the inhalants and he's going to change Manchester United's fortunes, it's not going to happen. The guy's a cycling man, and he had to cheat to be successful at that. And Sir Jim's had to cheat taxes to be successful in business. So if you think these guys are going to come to Manchester United and suddenly going to fix everything, then, mate, it ain't going to happen. The only thing as part of it that I would be happy with in the slightest bit is if you get somebody like Jean-Claude Blanc come in and you give him full operational control to run CEO. If he comes in and be the CEO, Manchester United, I'd be happy with him, because the one thing that I know that he did, especially personally, when he was at Juventus, he spoke to the Juventus fans before they did any construction. A bulldozer was anywhere near building a new stadium for Juventus. That's the one thing he did. Had connection, communication with the fans to say, how do you feel about this proposal? And when the fans backlashed against it at one point, he said, no, we're going to stop all construction. What do you as the fans want? So if that's right in saying, Nuruddin, and Jimmy is going to come in with his boys and he's going to be in control, I expect the exact same thing for what Jean-Claude Blanc did if he's the CEO of Manchester United, for what he did in Juventus. But for me, I don't trust Sir Jim Ratcliffe as much as Lasso does. I don't. I think he's a snake. I think he ratted us all when he said this. He wanted 69%, then it was 50%. The number was always changing. I don't know if he's got miscalculator or whatever the fuck he's got wrong with him. But at the end of the day, dodgy Dave and dodgy Jim ain't coming here to do jack all. So at the end of the day, I'll close the note on it. 25% is an investment. So when channels or when anybody shouts off and shouts about a takeover, it's not a takeover. A takeover is come in, get rid of the previous owner. This is a 25% investment. And it's not even that, because he owns 17%, not 25%. So at the end of the day, dodgy Dave and dodgy Jim ain't doing jack all for these guys. So have a happy New Year. If we don't speak to you before then, we probably will do for the Forest game. But yeah, try enjoy the rest of your Boxing Day or Christmas. And yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Happy New Year from Tom.
Happy New Year.
There we go. Happy New Year to you, Tom. Go ahead, Jarvis. You got the last word of the show.
Yeah, just seeing something on Twitter now with James Ducker, the Telegraph, that actually Sir Jim Ratcliffe has 29%. That's the final deal. So maybe it's more than we think. But and Glazer
how many?
with
How many
49.
of them are Class B shares?
I don't think it could go in detail, Jarvis. Or...
No, I just got the article on my Facebook, Twitter account. So I haven't read it, but the headline is Ratcliffe 29, Glazers 49. So that's just James Ducker. I wouldn't say, is he reliable?
Listen,
Telegraph.
do not be played. If the headline says 29 Class B shares, then maybe we're onto something. Class A shares are worth fuck all. And at this moment in time, he's only got 17. Remember that, 17.
17.
It's not even 17. If you take 25% out of 65%, because the Glazers don't own 69% Class B shares. They have 4% Class A, so it's 65% Class B. So 25% out of 65 is 16.25. So it's not even.
Listen, I've been kinder to him. 17. I've been kinder to him. I'm rounding it up.
Yeah, you're kind. You're kind. Being kind with Ratcliffe.
Well, being kind with Jimmy. What's going on, Nuruddin?
No, I've been kind to him, but I know he means fuck all. Even when I try to be kinder to him, he's still gonna fuck us.
Are you hanging with Dodgy Dave and Jim on the inhalers or something? I think they were as high as Villa's High Line tonight.
Careful now, Tom. Careful.
Go ahead, Jarvis. Finish the show. We've been live for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're happy for Hojlund. We're happy for
I want to end on a high note. I want to speak about Hojlund. scored his first goal in the
Like
Premier
a
League.
fan, like one of us, eh? Like one of us.
Yeah, that was
Honestly.
it was good to
Yeah.
see a
Yeah.
young lad celebrating. It meant
A
a lot for
United
him.
fan, Jarvis.
You
A
could see
United fan. A boyhood United fan.
you
Come
could
on,
see
man.
all the weight of on his shoulders just dropping. Finally, he gave something back, and I think he can evolve to be a fantastic striker, but he needs a little bit older, more astute, more experienced striker beside him to learn him the tricks of the trade, because it's not that easy. Playing striker is the hardest role on the pitch. So, but I'm glad Hojlund got that goal, and I just want to say, Mainu today. Wow, he showed some things that I haven't seen before. His heading abilities. He won 5 aerial duels today. People think he's small. He's 18 years old, but he won a lot of aerial duels.
He's got a good leap.
Actually,
He's got a good leap.
Good leap on him,
Yeah.
that's it.
yeah, and
Buys him out.
that's really important because Eriksen is not that guy and not Bruno. So we need someone else than McTominay to win the aerial duels. And today, Mainu stepped up. So fantastic from the young lad. So I'm glad 3 points in the boxing day. So let's look ahead. Nottingham Forest next. Who knows?
There we go, people. There
Yeah.
we go. We close it out with that one. We close it out. Jarvis, let me know if you're live on Wednesday, Jarvis Corner. If not, no problem. If you're live Wednesday, I'm happy to jump on and join you. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Jim the Radcliffe sexuals can do one. Here we keep it 100%. Full sale only. Jim out, Glazers out, bankers out. Fuck the Super League, kindly. Fuck genocides. Fuck people who are committing crimes against humanity. Fuck people who are dehumanizing people. And we say more love, more compassion, more humanity. That's what we're asking for. And for the Palestinian people, our hearts, our minds, our spirits, our souls are with you always, every day in your struggle against the racist, apartheid, settler, colonial state. And the world leaders and Western media, you've got blood on your hands. Western leaders, you've got blood on your hands. You're all cowards. The Arab leaders, you're nothing but 2 big cowards, other than Yemen and Algeria. Rest of you can go and suck on one. Fuck Zionism. Fuck hatred of any kind. Fuck any dehumanization of anybody. And you know what, people? Have a fantastic new year. And we'll be back for the preview on Thursday, most likely, for Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. After winning, could it be like that? Could it be that we beat... could history repeat itself? Win 3-2, then get beat 1-0 by Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Remember, it happened to us. We beat City 3-2. We got beat by a team that went down that season, West Brom. But we don't want that. Hojlund, you are magic. So tonight, you channeled almost 1 billion fans around the world who would love to have the opportunity to put on a red shirt for Manchester United and actually play for Manchester United and score in the Stretford end. But yet, you have 0 assists this season from any of your other teammates. Thank you so much, Mcginn, for the assist. Thank you so much, Mcginn, for that wonderful assist. And Hojlund, I felt it. I got a little bit emotional for him. Just that relief was unbelievable. But we go out with that one. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Warmongers out. Weapon manufacturers out. Compassion, love, humanity. It's the only way. Peace. Take care, people. Peace out. Oh, by the way, no, quickly. Tom Journalist 1. Make sure you check out Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter. Jarvis is Bowley, BOLE77. And then Lesso Football TV. Go and check it out as well. Go and check it out. Love and light. Big up Mcginn in. There we go. Mcginn in. Nuno Spirito de Santo. Last be having you.
Yeah.
There we go. Vampires face Jim Glazers out. Free Palestine. Big up, Nilas. Happy New Year to you all. Good night.
Good night.
Right.